So let me start by asking you to quickly maybe introduce yourself and what your role is in Deutsche Bank.
Sure. I'm Boris Serebrani. I'm a head of hybrid cloud Unix services at Deutsche Bank. I'm with the Deutsche Bank for more than a quarter of a century. So
That's a long time.
yes, thank you.
Peter.
Peter.
And I am Peter Nutt. I've been at Deutsche Bank 11 years. I've been through IBM, JP Morgan, Bank of Tokyo Mitsubishi, and I look after engineering of the Unix and Linux operating systems.
You guys did something super bold. And I'd like to talk with you about that, because I've been talking about multi-Linux support for the last 2 years. And we've had many customers get on board with it. But you're a customer that is here to publicly talk about that, and I'm very excited about it. But can you first tell me a little bit about your environment and your history with SUSE?
Yes, of course. We started with the SUSE many years ago, so it's literally a quarter of a century. By the way, I have evidence.
You have evidence.
This is the original book. Thank you. This is the original book which was printed by SUSE for Deutsche Bank.
Wow.
Right? As you can see, I have a pin. You have a newer pin. I have
I'm
the
going to make
original
sure you
one.
get this too. Yeah.
So yeah, this is how we started. Our partnership with Deutsche Bank started. So SUSE was the very first Linux operating system that we introduced at Deutsche Bank. So in the early 2000s, we realized the potential of the open source, obviously, and we start moving toward open source products, such as SUSE was the first operating system. And since then, we are still very good partners.
So you believe in open source, you believe in Linux, and you've been deploying this for many years.
Correct.
But as we said, choice happens, so you didn't just have SUSE, you also had other Linuxes.
Correct.
And this environment that you're running, can you tell me a little bit about how business critical it is?
Yes. Look, if we talk about challenges, for example, for us, and I'm pretty sure those challenges are the same for any other industries, it's always about one challenge, to provide reliable services, consistent services to our customer. And for me, for example, as a head of Unix and Linux services at Deutsche Bank, it is about providing secure, stable, and operatable operating system platform for our businesses. And so that our platform can constantly pick up all business needs, such as computational speed, processing volumes, and after all of that, under the cost control.
Of course, cost is always very important, but
yes.
It's also an environment you don't want to play with, right? You can't
Yes.
afford any downtime. That would be disastrous, I think.
Nope. 24/7, 365 days a year. And as you just mentioned, downtime, it is a very challenging task for us to get the downtime. That's why we're looking for some of the functionalities that SUSE is offering. I don't know, Peter, do you want to add anything, please?
Absolutely. So we have issues where we want to do vulnerability remediations, but application owners just cannot afford downtime. There's other DR tests at weekends, they're doing upgrades of the application, but we've been talking to your folks about live patching. So I think this is the silver bullet. If we can actually remediate critical and high vulnerabilities with no outage, there you go. We don't have an outage, we can make the environment even more secure. So it's a win-win for us.
So I get it. You don't want to really touch the systems that are very stable and are running well, and a long lifetime support is therefore also very important for you, right?
Very important.
Yeah. But then when you switch to SUSE and you decide for multi-Linux support, many customers say, okay, let's maybe try this with 1 or 2 systems. But at Deutsche Bank, you switched tens of thousands of servers overnight. Yes. Now we know that this doesn't require an installation or anything, because it's, as I explained earlier to the audience, we are supporting Linux, any Linux. But, what happened?
Okay, let me say. First of all, we only literally had like a few meetings with our operational teams around the globe, obviously, right? We have a massive infrastructure, global infrastructure. It took us 2-3 meetings with our operational staff to provide the instructions. And the next day, nothing happened. meaning that it was all smooth, it was all like straightforward. Thank you.
It hardly...
Maybe like, you know what, the only one confusion was the next day that people call and said, Boris, there's some, like, are we talking to the same, by the way, same person? His name is Roger. Very, very, like, outstanding support person.
Roger is our support engineer for Deutsche.
Yes, he's a very, very good support engineer from SUSE. And people, like, were a little bit confused. Boris, is it, like, right that we're still talking to Roger for other distributions of Linux? And we said, yes, go for it, it's all good. So, in one word, I can say it's a BAU, right? So it's a business as usual. The next day after we moved to the multi-Linux support with SUSE.
The only difference is you call the green guys.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's
excellent. So now you've made this move, and we're excited about it. It's already almost a year ago, so we've sort of proven this is a reliable solution. What's next?
Okay, as I already said, we are in the financial industry, right? So obviously it's not a secret, highly regulated industry, 365 days up and running. So no downtime pretty much, right? Or it's very challenging. So things such as live patching, in-place upgrade, automations, and observability are on the top of our list as a next step, or it is actually the current steps. Peter, do you want to add anything?
And you're absolutely right, Boris. We have a whole load of things we have to do. We're looking at SLE Micro. We absolutely want to get to an immutable environment, so we can just move from a pets sort of approach. We treat all of our servers like pets. We feed them, we nurture them, we don't like to get rid of them, and we're going to get rid of that. We just want to treat everything like a pet. Sorry, not a pet, like cattle. Yeah, wrong word. So when we need to actually do vulnerability fix, the approach in the future will be to just destroy that environment and rebuild it from scratch using an image. And if we can use an immutable image, like something like SLE Micro, then that's great. We scan it for vulnerabilities, we give it a rubber stamp of approval, our regulators are happy, we're happy, job done.
That's amazing. Yeah, regulators are important, you can't ignore them. So for us, this is more than a customer relationship, right? This is a partnership. We work through this together. We deeply understand the needs of the bank. We deeply understand your needs in terms of all the things you just mentioned, and we work very closely together to take you on the trajectory, on the path that you want, at the cost savings that you need to achieve.
Correct.
To continue to be a great bank.
Absolutely.
And obviously a great partner for both of us.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate the effort you're making, and you'll be around later. So if people want to ask questions, just find these two nice people. And
thank you for having us.